Psalm 119. Verse 1. Blessed are the undefiled in the way, who walk in the law of the Lord. Verse 2. Blessed are they that keep his testimonies, and that seek him with the whole heart. Verse 3. They also do no iniquity, they walk in his ways. Verse 4. Thou hast commanded us to keep thy precepts diligently. Verse 5. O that my ways were directed to keep thy statutes. Verse 6. Then shall I not be ashamed, when I have respect unto all thy commandments. Verse 7. I will praise thee with uprightness of heart, when I shall have learned thy righteous judgments. Verse 8. I will keep thy statutes, O forsake me not utterly. Verse 9. Wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his way? By taking heed thereto according to thy word. Verse 10. With my whole heart have I sought thee, O let me not wander from thy commandments. Verse 11. Thy word have I hid in mine heart, that I might not sin against thee. Verse 12. Blessed art thou, O Lord, teach me thy statutes. Verse 13. With my lips have I declared all the judgments of thy mouth. Verse 14. I have rejoiced in the way of thy testimonies, as much as in all riches. Verse 15. I will meditate in thy precepts, and have respect unto thy ways. Verse 16. I will delight myself in thy statutes, I will not forget thy word. Verse 17. Deal bountifully with thy servant, that I may live, and keep thy word. Verse 18. Open thou mine eyes, that I may behold wondrous things out of thy law. Verse 19. I am a stranger in the earth, hide not thy commandments from me. Verse 20. My soul breaketh for the longing that it hath unto thy judgments at all times. Verse 21. Thou hast rebuked the proud that are cursed, which do err from thy commandments. Verse 22. Remove from me reproach and contempt, for I have kept thy testimonies. Verse 23. Princes also did sit and speak against me, but thy servant did meditate in thy statutes. Verse 24. Thy testimonies also are my delight and my counselors. Verse 25. My soul cleaveth unto the dust, quicken thou me according to thy word. Verse 26. I have declared my ways, and thou heardest me, teach me thy statutes. Verse 27. Make me to understand the way of thy precepts, so shall I talk of thy wondrous works. Verse 28. My soul melteth for heaviness, strengthen thou me according unto thy word. Verse 29. Remove from me the way of lying, and grant me thy law graciously. Verse 30. I have chosen the way of truth, thy judgments have I laid before me. Verse 31. I have stuck unto thy testimonies, O Lord, put me not to shame. Verse 32. I will run the way of thy commandments, when thou shalt enlarge my heart. Verse 33. Teach me, O Lord, the way of thy statutes, and I shall keep it unto the end. Verse 34. Give me understanding, and I shall keep thy law, yea, I shall observe it with my whole heart. Verse 35. Make me to go in the path of thy commandments, for therein do I delight. Verse 36. Incline my heart unto thy testimonies, and not to covetousness. Verse 37. Turn away mine eyes from beholding vanity, and quicken thou me in thy way. Verse 38. Stablish thy word unto thy servant, who is devoted to thy fear. Verse 39. Turn away my reproach which I fear, for thy judgments are good. Verse 40. Behold, I have longed after thy precepts, quicken me in thy righteousness. Verse 41. Let thy mercies come also unto me, O Lord, even thy salvation, according to thy word. Verse 42. So shall I have wherewith to answer him that reproacheth me, for I trust in thy word. Verse 43. And take not the word of truth utterly out of my mouth, for I have hoped in thy judgments. Verse 44. So shall I keep thy law continually for ever and ever. Verse 45. And I will walk at liberty, for I seek thy precepts. Verse 46. I will speak of thy testimonies also before kings, and will not be ashamed. Verse 47. And I will delight myself in thy commandments, which I have loved. Verse 48. My hands also will I lift up unto thy commandments, which I have loved, and I will meditate in thy statutes. Verse 49. Remember the word unto thy servant, upon which thou hast caused me to hope. Verse 50. This is my comfort in my affliction, for thy word hath quickened me. Verse 51. The proud have had me greatly in derision, yet have I not declined from thy law. Verse 52. I remembered thy judgments of old, O Lord, and have comforted myself. Verse 53. Horror hath taken hold upon me because of the wicked that forsake thy law. Verse 54. Thy statutes have been my songs in the house of my pilgrimage. Verse 55. I have remembered thy name, O Lord, in the night, and have kept thy law. Verse 56. This I had, because I kept thy precepts. Verse 57. Thou art my portion, O Lord, I have said that I would keep thy words. Verse 58. I entreat thy favor with my whole heart, be merciful unto me according to thy word. Verse 59. I thought on my ways, and turned my feet unto thy testimonies. Verse 60. I made haste, and delayed not to keep thy commandments. Verse 61. The bands of the wicked have robbed me, but I have not forgotten thy law. Verse 62. At midnight I will rise to give thanks unto thee because of thy righteous judgments. Verse 63. I am a companion of all them that fear thee, and of them that keep thy precepts. Verse 64. The earth, O Lord, is full of thy mercy, teach me thy statutes. Verse 65. Thou hast dealt well with thy servant, O Lord, according unto thy word. Verse 66. Teach me good judgment and knowledge, for I have believed thy commandments. Verse 67. Before I was afflicted I went astray, but now have I kept thy word. Verse 68. Thou art good, and doest good, teach me thy statutes. Verse 69. The proud have forged a lie against me, but I will keep thy precepts with my whole heart. Verse 70. Their heart is as fat as grease, but I delight in thy law. Verse 71. It is good for me that I have been afflicted, that I might learn thy statutes. Verse 72. The law of thy mouth is better unto me than thousands of gold and silver. Verse 73. Thy hands have made me and fashioned me, give me understanding, that I may learn thy commandments. Verse 74. They that fear thee will be glad when they see me, because I have hoped in thy word. Verse 75. I know, O Lord, that thy judgments are right, and that thou in faithfulness hast afflicted me. Verse 76. Let, I pray thee, thy merciful kindness be for my comfort, according to thy word unto thy servant. Verse 77. Let thy tender mercies come unto me, that I may live, for thy law is my delight. Verse 78. Let the proud be ashamed, for they dealt perversely with me without a cause, but I will meditate in thy precepts. Verse 79. Let those that fear thee turn unto me, and those that have known thy testimonies. Verse 80. Let my heart be sound in thy statutes, that I be not ashamed. Verse 81. My soul fainteth for thy salvation, but I hope in thy word. Verse 82. Mine eyes fail for thy word, saying, when wilt thou comfort me? Verse 83. For I am become like a bottle in the smoke, yet do I not forget thy statutes. Verse 84. How many are the days of thy servant? When wilt thou execute judgment on them that persecute me? Verse 85. The proud have digged pits for me, which are not after thy law. Verse 86. All thy commandments are faithful, they persecute me wrongfully, help thou me. Verse 87. They had almost consumed me upon earth, but I forsook not thy precepts. Verse 88. Quicken me after thy loving kindness, so shall I keep the testimony of thy mouth. Verse 89. Forever, O Lord, thy word is settled in heaven. Verse 90. Thy faithfulness is unto all generations, thou hast established the earth, and it abideth. Verse 91. They continue this day according to thine ordinances, for all are thy servants. Verse 92. Unless thy law had been my delights, I should then have perished in mine affliction. Verse 93. I will never forget thy precepts, for with them thou hast quickened me. Verse 94. I am thine, save me, for I have sought thy precepts. Verse 95. The wicked have waited for me to destroy me, but I will consider thy testimonies. Verse 96. I have seen an end of all perfection, but thy commandment is exceeding broad. Verse 97. O how love I thy law! It is my meditation all the day. Verse 98. Thou through thy commandments hast made me wiser than mine enemies, for they are ever with me. Verse 99. I have more understanding than all my teachers, for thy testimonies are my meditation. Verse 100. I understand more than the ancients, because I keep thy precepts. Verse 101. I have refrained my feet from every evil way, that I might keep thy word. Verse 102. I have not departed from thy judgments, for thou hast taught me. Verse 103. How sweet are thy words unto my taste! Yea, sweeter than honey to my mouth. Verse 104. Through thy precepts I get understanding, therefore I hate every false way. Verse 105. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet, and a light unto my path. Verse 106. I have sworn, and I will perform it, that I will keep thy righteous judgments. Verse 107. I am afflicted very much, quicken me, O Lord, according unto thy word. Verse 108. Accept, I beseech thee, the freewill offerings of my mouth, O Lord, and teach me thy judgments. Verse 109. My soul is continually in my hand, yet do I not forget thy law. Verse 110. The wicked have laid a snare for me, yet I erred not from thy precepts. Verse 111. Thy testimonies have I taken as an heritage forever, for they are the rejoicing of my heart. Verse 112. I have inclined mine heart to perform thy statutes always, even unto the end. Verse 113. I hate vain thoughts, but thy law do I love. Verse 114. Thou art my hiding place and my shield, I hope in thy word. Verse 115. Depart from me, ye revilers, for I will keep the commandments of my God. Verse 116. Uphold me according unto thy word, that I may live, and let me not be ashamed of my hope. Verse 117. Hold thou me up, and I shall be safe, and I will have respect unto thy statutes continually. Verse 118. Thou hast trodden down all them that err from thy statutes, for their deceit is falsehood. Verse 119. Thou puttest away all the wicked of the earth like dross, therefore I love thy testimonies. Verse 120. My flesh trembleth for fear of thee, and I am afraid of thy judgments. Verse 121. I have done judgment and justice, leave me not to mine oppressors. Verse 122. Be surety for thy servant for good, let not the proud oppress me. Verse 123. Mine eyes fail for thy salvation, and for the word of thy righteousness. Verse 124. Deal with thy servant according unto thy mercy, and teach me thy statutes. Verse 125. I am thy servant, give me understanding, that I may know thy testimonies. Verse 126. It is time for thee, Lord, to work, for they have made void thy law. Verse 127. Therefore I love thy commandments above gold, yea, above fine gold. Verse 128. Therefore I esteem all thy precepts concerning all things to be right, and I hate every false way. Verse 129. Thy testimonies are wonderful, therefore doth my soul keep them. Verse 130. The entrance of thy words giveth light, it giveth understanding unto the simple. Verse 131. I opened my mouth, and panted, for I longed for thy commandments. Verse 132. Look thou upon me, and be merciful unto me, as thou usest to do unto those that love thy name. Verse 133. Order my steps in thy word, and let not any iniquity have dominion over me. Verse 134. Deliver me from the oppression of man, so will I keep thy precepts. Verse 135. Make thy face to shine upon thy servant, and teach me thy statutes. Verse 136. Rivers of waters run down mine eyes, because they keep not thy law. Verse 137. Righteous art thou, O Lord, and upright are thy judgments. Verse 138. Thy testimonies that thou hast commanded are righteous and very faithful. Verse 139. My zeal hath consumed me, because mine enemies have forgotten thy words. Verse 140. Thy word is very pure, therefore thy servant loveth it. Verse 141. I am small and despised, yet do not I forget thy precepts. Verse 142. Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth. Verse 143. Trouble and anguish have taken hold on me, yet thy commandments are my delights. Verse 144. The righteousness of thy testimonies is everlasting, give me understanding, and I shall live. Verse 145. I cried with my whole heart, hear me, O Lord, I will keep thy statutes. Verse 146. I cried unto thee, save me, and I shall keep thy testimonies. Verse 147. I prevented the dawning of the morning, and cried, I hoped in thy word. Verse 148. Mine eyes prevent the night watches, that I might meditate in thy word. Verse 149. Hear my voice according unto thy loving kindness, O Lord, quicken me according to thy judgment. Verse 150. They draw nigh that follow after mischief, they are far from thy law. Verse 151. Thou art near, O Lord, and all thy commandments are truth. Verse 152. Concerning thy testimonies, I have known of old that thou hast founded them forever. Verse 153. Consider mine affliction, and deliver me, for I do not forget thy law. Verse 154. Plead my cause, and deliver me, quicken me according to thy word. Verse 155. Salvation is far from the wicked, for they seek not thy statutes. Verse 156. Great are thy tender mercies, O Lord, quicken me according to thy judgments. Verse 157. Many are my persecutors and mine enemies, yet do I not decline from thy testimonies. Verse 158. I beheld the transgressors, and was grieved, because they kept not thy word. Verse 159. Consider how I love thy precepts, quicken me, O Lord, according to thy loving kindness. Verse 160. Thy word is true from the beginning, and every one of thy righteous judgments endureth forever. Verse 161. Princes have persecuted me without a cause, but my heart standeth in awe of thy word. Verse 162. I rejoice at thy word, as one that findeth great spoil. Verse 163. I hate and abhor lying, but thy law do I love. Verse 164. 7 times a day do I praise thee because of thy righteous judgments. Verse 165. Great peace have they which love thy law, and nothing shall offend them. Verse 166. Lord, I have hoped for thy salvation, and done thy commandments. Verse 167. My soul hath kept thy testimonies, and I love them exceedingly. Verse 168. I have kept thy precepts and thy testimonies, for all my ways are before thee. Verse 169. Let my cry come near before thee, O Lord, give me understanding according to thy word. Verse 170. Let my supplication come before thee, deliver me according to thy word. Verse 171. My lips shall utter praise, when thou hast taught me thy statutes. Verse 172. My tongue shall speak of thy word, for all thy commandments are righteousness. Verse 173. Let thine hand help me, for I have chosen thy precepts. Verse 174. I have longed for thy salvation, O Lord, and thy law is my delight. Verse 175. Let my soul live, and it shall praise thee, and let thy judgments help me. Verse 176. I have gone astray like a lost sheep, seek thy servant, for I do not forget thy commandments.